So first, I'm just gonna say like how the meeting's gonna go. So first, we're gonna do talk about like the coaching situation, and then we're gonna talk, and Gemma will talk about that, and then Mona will talk about like the safety and what types of things are gonna happen based off of what phase we're in, and just precautions on that. And then Melina will cover a little bit about new swimmers and incoming freshmen. And then I'll kind of close it out with just a few last things and like questions, and then some fun icebreakers. But first, I just wanted to say that everybody should request to join our Facebook group, because that's how Facebook works. I'll put the name of the Facebook group in the chat, but if you just request it, then one of us as captains can let you in, and that's where we'll post some information, like it could be about calls like this, or when the season starts coming, like about meets and gear and things like that. And also, we just wanted to say that the chat is very open. So if any questions come up while we're talking, you can put anything you want in the chat, and then we'll answer it, or we'll come back to it at the end of the meeting. But yeah. So Gemma, do you want to talk about the coaching?
Well, yeah. Okay. So as some of you might know, David is not coming back to coach us next year, for sure. He was kind of like hinting at it at the end of last year, but we emailed him and he's for sure not coming back next year. But Katoya and Marisol, our assistant coaches from last year, have been in contact with Miss Lynch and are seeing about assistant coaching or head coaching. And then also, if any of you guys know Lauren, who is an assistant coach for the boys team last year, she's also looking into assistant coaching for our team as well, which is really exciting. I think it'll be really cool to have an all-female coaching situation. That'll be really awesome. Nice and empowering. David wasn't always the best at that. Anyways, besides that, it'll be good to, once we finally get a coach, because then we can get more concrete plans for the season done. But yeah, that's where we're at so far with coaching. We're in contact with Miss Lynch and Katoya and Marisol. So we'll let you know once everything's settled. But we wanted to give you a little update. That's that.
And just to add on to that, if you know of anyone who like wants to be an assistant coach or possibly a head coach or something like that, if you send us their information, we can get them in contact with Miss Lynch so they can apply for that. But yeah, just if you have connections or know of anyone, then just let us know.
Yeah, okay, so now I can talk a little bit about how COVID-19 is impacting our season and our plans moving forward. So right now, as you guys probably know, we're in phase 2, and currently there's like a pause put on moving forward with the phases. So in phase 2, what we can do is outdoor recreational activities involving 5 or fewer people from outside your house. I'm just gonna go through the phases real fast. And then phase 3 is outdoor group recreational activities with a maximum of 50 people. So that means like gyms, public pools, and all those can operate at less than 50% capacity. And then phase 4 is resuming all recreational activities. However, even if we are in phase 4 in August and beyond, our season's still probably going to look different than it has in the past. And then what does that mean for us right now? So obviously safety is going to be our top priority. But in the coming weeks, we're probably going to have some optional Zoom workouts just to have another opportunity for team events. And yeah, in August, we're not sure what phase we're going to be in, so we don't have any set plans for in-person practices yet. But some ideas that we have are continuing on with the captain's practices that we've had in past years. And for those, we'd probably just have a lot of circuit sets so we can have a safe way to exercise and spread out the people. And we'd also have sign-up sheets so we can limit the number of people at each practice and still maintain some sort of social distancing. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna talk a little bit about new swimmers. So I'm Melina, if you didn't already know me. And basically, if you know anyone of any grade, especially incoming freshmen that maybe don't know how to join swim team, please contact us or get them to contact us. and we can tell them all the information they need to know about joining swim team and add them to the group me. And also, if you're on this Zoom call and you're new to the team, we're super excited to have you here, and I'm so excited to meet you in person this swim season. So yeah, that's all.
Okay, great. So that's kind of just like the bulkier stuff that we wanted to get out there. Does anyone have any questions about that we can try to answer? Kind of like Mona said, a lot is just really unknown right now. We know David in his last email that he sent us felt very confident we were gonna have a season in the fall, but that's David, so we're not sure what he was thinking with that or what kind of evidence he had for that. But does anyone have any questions about that? Yeah, Tasia?
For the paperwork, it said we needed to bring in a physical copy of our physical exam. Who do we bring that to if the school's closed? How does that work? I was just a little confused by that.
That's a good question. Hope, do you know something about that?
Not exactly about that, but I've been in contact with the school for a lot of things. But just literally just email Miss Lynch and ask her, or just email some athletic person and they can definitely direct you.
Yeah.
It's just a bit more finicky than usual.
Thank you.
If you email Miss Lynch, you're probably going to get a bounce back email that says that she's out of office right now and most likely won't respond until late August, but she probably will respond. It's just because she's not in the building right now, but I'm sure that she knows about that. I don't think, I'm not exactly sure about that. Oh, Gemma left.
Last year when I was turning in my physical, I did it a couple weeks into the swim season and it wasn't a big deal. So I wouldn't worry about it right now since we're still in July.
Yeah.
When are we supposed to turn in paperwork? Because I haven't done anything for that.
It's really not, I don't think you need to worry about it right now. Really, if you just have it turned in before our first practice, our in-pool practice, then you'll be fine.
Okay.
I remember from past years, you just want to make sure you have your physical in, or else the coaches won't be able to let you in the pool. But that's kind of the only thing. And when you apply, when you submit those papers, then you'll be on the roster. So we don't need that. We don't need you on the roster for captain's practices and Zoom workouts. So I wouldn't stress about paperwork quite yet. Anything else?
Do you know when Medgar's opening, for real, what they're planning to open?
No.
Currently, Seattle schools in general they don't have any clue when they're going to open. I'm working for them, so I'm on their email list, and they just have no clue. Right now it's just beaches.
Yeah.
Okay.
And same goes with the Y, because I know we used the Y sometime last season. So the Y just really doesn't know when they're opening. They kind of keep pushing it back further and further. So I think a lot is unknown right now, but we're trying to work through that. Yeah.
Again, sorry. Could we have open water practices? Is that even a possibility?
We've thought about that, and I'm sure we could do that at some point. That's a good idea. Maybe, yeah, we'll start thinking about that. And I saw that Maggie said fundraisers this year. So, Mona, do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Okay. So basically we were talking a little bit about fundraisers earlier, but we think especially right now, we want to hold off on those just because there's a lot of other organizations who we think are pushing for more urgent things than our swim team. And also we do have some funding left over from previous years. So we're not going in with nothing. So don't worry. And yeah, so we do have a little bit of funding if people need suits or anything like that.
Yeah, but we also just kind of are assuming fundraising is going to be very different because obviously there's not going to be tailgates. Or for anyone that hasn't been on the swim team before, usually we go to tailgates at UW games and we just have baked goods and we just walk around and like people just give us money, like a lot of money. We kind of scam people a little bit, but we don't think we'll be able to do that this year because there's probably not going to be those big football games and especially not tailgates at them. But like Moda said, hopefully at some point we'll be able to comfortably be able to like put out like online things. Like I know I've seen like Post has done the things, you know, on Instagram where it's like there's a bunch of little, it's like bingo. Yeah. It's like bingo. Yeah, and I think some other clubs have done that. So maybe we'll get to that point eventually, but we have money left over. Anything else?
Asia?
Do you know, like, are we gonna, I don't know how to say this. What's the likelihood of us having meets?
So, the WIAA put out some guidelines and they said swimming is a pretty low risk activity. So, I'm hoping that they'll be able to figure out something for meets. They said that, so relays are one thing that might be a little different. They said because they're a little bit of higher risk activities. But, so maybe, I guess it's another kind of, we'll see what phase we're in since our coronavirus numbers are not doing especially well right now. That makes things a little bit more wishy-washy than they were a little bit ago.
Yeah. I know that some summer league teams like View Ridge has like they have a meet this Thursday, but they're just doing it like differently and it's just like it's very small. So I would say that if we have a season, which I'm hoping we do, then meets will happen. They might just be very different, but they'll happen. And so the last thing that we were gonna talk about was gear. So we're brainstorming. We're doing lots of brainstorming with gear. But one thing that we're like talking about and thinking about a lot is suits. So we'll probably send out a poll in the group me with options for suits because we've talked a little bit about keeping the same suits as last year because they were really good suits, but then also having the option to buy them again. Like I know mine, I ripped a hole in it. It was really sad. It's in the butt, so I can't even wear it. And I know other people have obviously like grown out of theirs or anything like that, or just want a new one. So we might be doing that where we might have pretty much the same suit, maybe like a new back or something little like that. So it's kind of an option if you want to buy another one or if you just want to use the same one as last year. And obviously new swimmers will have to buy a new one, but we do have fundraising money and things like that. So if money is a worry, then we've got you covered. Don't worry. So that's kind of everything that we had planned for this call, except for icebreakers. We wanted to do a few fun icebreakers. So, but if anyone needs to leave or anything, then you can leave now. Thank you for coming. But so our icebreakers, actually, I'm going to end the recording because I don't want to get